Hey, I'm here with Patrick Cole, Team Bearded captain, Georgia State champion, and we're here with a deck profile. What are we going to talk about?
So today I went to Bearded Collectibles, my home store, and I top forward with Goku's Lineage. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the deck. Let's get right into it. So for the leader, he's cool. He's kind of like Universe 7 Frieza, except for the fact that you need to attack and you need to pitch Goku's Lineage. So he'll pitch one Goku's Lineage and draw two. And when he awakens, he untaps 2 energy and goes into Legacy Bearer Son Goku. And when he swings, both himself and Goku's Lineage battle card gain 5k. It's pretty good, honestly. I really liked him for leader. It helps you dig through your deck more so than the other Goku Lineage leaders, and really just helps you get there. And when you don't see your pieces in this deck, you pretty much just lose.
Alright, so let's get into the main deck.
So going into it, you have your starter card. This card is amazing. It helps you awaken. It swaps 2 turn 1. And he's also pretty good with another tech card that I play in the deck. So moving up the chain, you've got your first barrier boy.
Swap into him for free from the Bardock.
Yep. So turn 2, you're going to swap into the 3. He doesn't really have much of an effect besides barrier. Usually, just swing with him, swap into his dad, and just keep going up the chain from there. So for our 3s, we play Indomitable Dynasty, Super Saiyan Son Goku.
So Gohan swaps into this for 2.
Yep, and then he swaps into older Gohan. So this card, you swing, you swap his barrier. When you stick it, they can't remove it easily. So moving up the line, like all the Goku's Lineage I played, except for Bardock and Goku, have barrier. The big Goku, but yeah, it's pretty good when they can't remove your cards and then you just kill them. So for your 4, this one, your deck finally starts to do something. This card is awesome. He's a Prince of Speed when you play him with swap. You draw 2 cards, has barrier. What's not to love about this card? It's really cool because like most of the time when the same turn I'll awaken, I'll be playing him. So effectively, I'm drawing 2 cards and I'm untapping 2 of my energy. It's also pretty good when you play him on like Perfect Curve, so you'll have the 3 drop the same turn you awaken, so you go from the 4 into the 5 in the same turn.
It's insane. It skips a turn essentially.
So for the 5s, we played this guy. He's got barrier, double strike, and he's a Beerus, so he can go in and just pop one of your opponent's battle cards. It's really good. Honestly, I used him as a finisher a bunch of times when my opponent tried to rush me down, and I had to kill my opponent before they killed me. So just as a finisher, him by himself, a barrier, double strike, 25k. It's really good. When your leaders awaken, it gives them an extra 5k for free. So honestly, it's really good. Very good card. And now for our big boy, our tower. We play Height of Mastery, Son Goku. What's not to love about this card? 35k, deflect, triple strike, dual attack, and when you play this card with swap, choose 3 of your opponent's battle cards or energy, and for battle cards, it ignores barrier, and you switch it to rest mode. Taps down blockers for Super Saiyan 3. They'll untap 3 energy. This will tap down their energy. They can't negate. They can't combo with their 10Ks. It's honestly
for
just
blockers. There's no answer to this card unless you leave up more than 3 energy.
For my Universe 7 opponent, he tried to Crusher Ball me when I played this card. I don't know why Bandai thought this card needed Deflect, but it has it, and Deflect is amazing. Can't be affected by counterplay skills. When I dropped this card, I won the game that turn every single time.
It's the finisher.
So for our spicy one of, we have Distant Descendant Son Goku Jr., 40k base power. Honestly, if you have this card, I'd recommend playing it. It's a triple strike. Its effect is broken. If you hit a super combo off of it, you get to use it, right there. It's just another finisher, alternative win condition, and this card just looks amazing. Beautiful card.
And the extra effect that you don't really care if it hits, but it burns a life if it hits 5 different Goku's Lineage names off the top 7. It hits more often than we thought it would. with the lineup that you're running?
Right. So yeah, with the ratios that I have, like honestly, like I was really surprised with like the amount of times that I was actually hitting 5 off the 7, burning them for 2, and just winning the game.
I know in our play testing we would just have what if moments where we'd look at the top 7 and honestly it hit a lot.
Yeah, I was honestly genuinely surprised with like how good this card is, but it's a fantastic finisher. Now for our Overwhelm, we played our Time Patrol Trunks. It's good, cheap, consistent Overwhelm, adds consistency to the deck. I was back and forth between this card and the new Supreme Kai of Time.
So what does Time Patrol give us that this new Supreme Kai doesn't?
So for Supreme Kai, it'll do your top 3 only battle cards though. So like that's fine in this deck, but we also play like really good extra cards. So this lets us grab those, as well as we've got some spice in this deck. So it's like you don't always want to reveal to your opponent what you're grabbing, and this card it can stack the top card of your deck, put it at the bottom, whereas Supreme Kai of Time only be able to put them at the bottom. So honestly, like for what this deck does. I really like Time Patrol Trunks. I would continue playing it.
All right.
Now for our extra cards, we've got Successor of Hope. This card is amazing. Searches a 5-drop Goku's Lineage or under that has swap. And it's a fantastic card. If you played Yu-Gi-Oh, it's Rhoda. It adds to the consistency of the deck. It lets you play 8 Bardoks effectively for your starter. It helps you get to your pieces. And a lot of the times, like if I already had some of the pieces in line, I would honestly hold these as I was playing until it came up that I needed to use it, unless my opponent was threatening for game next turn, which like I would just use it to search my super combos, and that on its own is phenomenal.
All right.
For my next extra card, we played Instant Transmission. This card is awesome. This is the negate in your deck. What it does is it negates for 1 yellow, or if you choose, you can take a life for it instead and play it for free. This honestly takes me back to Mecha Frieza days, where you could just negate for free, and this was just phenomenal. With like big cards, triple strike, double strike. Trying to finish the game out. This card was perfect for that. It. Let me just take the game back. My opponent didn't expect it. They thought I was tapped out. They thought like they were finishing me. A couple times my opponent tried to double strike me from 5 to 3 with the critical Trunks and a Champa, and this card just pretty much just says no to that.
Yeah, kind of like how Mecha Frieza could just Sensu Bean from 5 to 4, awaken, be at 20k. Just negated essentially.
Exactly, and honestly, negates are really good this format. When you negate on their last attack, so they can't unyielding Trunks to untap their energy. This card is phenomenal and just shuts down their turn. For our last extra card, we played 10 times Kamehameha. Activate battle. If you have a Goku's Lineage leader with Son Goku in his name, your leader gains double strike and plus 15k. This card is effectively Champa for 5 more k. It's great defensively, great offensively. I feel like a lot of people underestimate my leader, which was perfect because I would be swinging with leader. They would be at 2 life. They wouldn't expect it. They wouldn't negate it even if they had the negate in hand. And this card was just perfect for just closing out the game. I would drop my hand on them, and they would just lose.
Yeah, people just expect to take this hit because they know they're going to get double striked or triple striked on the next card. But with all your energy up, and you can just drop all the 10Ks, and he's already 20k base with his own effect.
Yep. So at that point, you have 20k base power, and then 1 card, he's a 35k double striker. It's pretty good. So now going into the spice of the deck, we played Guinea Family of Justice. Now, people are wondering, why I play this card. Honestly,
this is a spicy tech.
For when you bring it out turn 1 or later on to awaken, bring out Bardock, and then you can play all your Guineas for free. And this is like a 1-drop format, people are saying, and the only thing better than a 1-drop is a 0-drop for however many attacks they have. As I have blockers, this effectively negates their 1-drop attacks and lets me live. At worst, it's a 5k combo. At best, it's saving me from dying. For super combos, I played 2 Pan and 2 Shugesh. Now for Pan, searchable off Successor of Hope. You're effectively playing 6 of these. She's awesome. I've never had to use her actual like swap effect. It doesn't seem very good. You know, having to swap and your opponent, you know, removing it next turn. Yeah. Maybe it'll come up for somebody to try to go for game with. It never came up for me. Just using it as a super combo was good enough. And now for Shugesh, I kind of want to just test the waters today, see, you know, people running Chrono or not. Even if they were, you know, it came up once. It was still a 10k combo, so it was pretty good. And like honestly, with like some of the threats to this deck, like Zeno, Chain Attack, like it was cool for like even if my opponent, you know, set me back a little bit, I could just cheat out my 3 drops and then just go up the line from that point. It's also pretty cool for this card I play, new card from the starter deck. It's effectively Kid Goku from last format, except it's searchable off of Successor. It's swap. It doesn't have barrier or blocker, but being able to search it out and use it with the Shugesh when they don't expect it is it's honestly pretty good. And then last I played this guy, Reborn Might Super Saiyan 4 Son Goku. This is another 5-drop target. Triple strike when you have 2 or less life. Takes a life. Doesn't have, you know, all the bells and whistles, deflect, dual attack. But you know, sometimes for just closing out the game, it was really good to just bring him out turn 5. Best case scenario.
End the game a turn earlier than the big boy.
Exactly. So you know, when they didn't have the gate, this card is phenomenal. And like otherwise, it's, you know, it's energy. I can use it with my leader's ability, or I can just combo it for 5k.
All right, and how'd you do today?
Like I said, I got top 4 with the deck. We ended up splitting top 4. I split with Super Saiyan 3, GT, Hirudegarn, and Baby. And honestly, like I really like the format. Like people are saying, you know, like it sucks or it's like, you know, too fast, whatever. I think the format is perfect. I'm having a lot of fun with it. New cards is always like a great time. So many new cards came out this time around, and it was really fun. I love the deck, and just gonna keep messing around with it. Maybe trying out other leaders, but the deck ran perfect today.
Were there any problems when you play this deck? Anything that you're scared of? Any bad matchups?
Like I said, I mean, like the only thing that I was really afraid of was Chain Attack Zeno and then Foreseeing Hit. And I actually ran into both of them back to back today and still ended up winning that game. My opponent Zeno'd me, and then honestly he just sent me a turn back. I just hard casted my 3-drop and then just kept going. He Foreseeing Hit me, but I had like a couple negates in hand, and it wasn't enough to finish me.
All right. Any special shout outs or anything you want to give?
Shout out to, obviously, you know, Alec from Bearded Collectibles, great store owner. Love the dude, he's a great sponsor. Shout out to you, my roommate Chad, you know, helping me with the deck. Shout out to Fern Babagar. And then last but not least, you know, shout out to Matthew Coombs for the deck.
All right, that's it. Goku's Lineage.